Oh, my stomach doesn't feel very good.
Huh?
That's much better, don't you think?
Help, I'm a goblin trapped inside of a pocket toy! Ah! Welcome to my show.
Hey, welcome back to my channel. My name is Citris, and yes, I did reanimate my Sona. You like it? Look, I have a nose now. And although this transformation is great, we actually have to take another shape for today's video.
TamaCitris transformed to Teenage TamaCitris!
Ugh, I guess that's good enough. Now we can go back to redrawing art from my childhood. Whatever, this is a stupid idea. I don't even know what I mean. Okay, I'll take the microphone back from you. Thank you, Teenage TamaCitris. You're ridiculous and had too much anxiety. But I love you nonetheless, because look, now we're here. Redrawing art that you made. Which, to start off, is going to be redrawing this Adventure Time original character based off of the Fiona and Cake spin-off where everyone's princes instead of princesses. This is my OC from my teenage years, Bee Prince. 10 years ago, during late 2014, the Instagram art community blew up with a new trend. Adventure Time OCs and mainly Princess OCs had been all the rage for a while now, with Natasha Allegri's unused cotton candy princess designs heading the movement. But we were a restless community, and we were growing bored of our princesses, and luckily, Adventure Time had introduced the gender-swapped world of Fiona and Cake. So the hashtag #MyPrinceOC was born. And as a 16-year-old, I couldn't wait to get involved. Bees are my favorite animal, and no one online, as far as I could tell, had done a bee character. I mean, all I did was a really quick tag search, but who cares? Now, as for this redraw, I wanted to get as close to the Adventure Time style as I could, and that involved understanding that my 10-year-old design of Bee Prince had to change to fit the actual art style. So I redesigned him to make him a bit more bee and a little less humanoid, and thought what would be better than a quick chat with Finn and Jake over a sandwich. Jumping right into the next one, I wanted my own vintage pinup character to be able to draw. I was inspired by Toonbox Studios' Cherry, so I created Olive. Let's get into redrawing. Like I said, at this point I had found Toonbox Studio on YouTube and Instagram, and they drew a lot of a pinup character that they called Cherry, and I was very inspired by this to go back and look at other pinup characters from history, and I just fell in love with like the beauty and the angles and everything that I could fall in love with about these pinup characters, and I really wanted to create my own. At the time, I drew a lot of just random girls, and so I thought, you know, this will translate into a design, and so I came up with something I thought was comparable, and now looking back, she's a little bit dull. So I was happy to redesign her a bit and give her a more striking hair tone and more interesting shape language. Actually, while going back and looking for reference, I found these amazing illustrations by Shane Gleans of Poison Ivy, and that was the heaviest inspiration that I used for this character. And I wanted to do a little bit of a vintage styling on her, so let's jump into it. Here she is. Next up, and we talked about it in my last video drawing Magical Girls, of course I made an OC to fit into my favorite anime, AKB 0048. In AKB, young girls train to become a part of a guerrilla idol group that travels to different planets to inspire and bring hope to people under a widespread entertainment ban. They sing and dance and fight giant mechs all at once. It's really amazing. Well, after they're done training, these girls will inherit the name of one of the original founding members of the group. Now, we don't know much about the actual founding members themselves, but we do learn about some of their successors who inherit the name before they graduate from the group. And one of my favorite characters was Michan V, the group's eccentric photographer and the only surviving Centernova. And in the anime, she is one of two girls who we've seen once been a part of AKB who's graduated out, which means that her namesake of Michan is up for grabs to the next batch of understudies. And since she was one of my favorite characters, of course as a younger teenager, I wanted my character to be the successor of her name. And while redrawing this piece, I remember taking inspiration from the beach photo shoot the girls had to do in the anime, and also the collectible cards sold in and out of the anime as merchandise. And I was just really determined to get as close to the actual anime art style as possible so that it could look like my character could have actually stepped right out of the show as a canon successor to Michan. So without any further ado, here is Minami Minagishi the 6th. Next, do y'all remember doing Inktober before all that yucky stuff went down? Yeah, me too. So let's redraw this piece from the last year I attempted Inktober. Now, I have never finished one of these art every day for a month challenges. I for sure have made art every day for a month before, but when you set a task to do it, I always get bored or forget. So this was, I believe, Inktober 2017, and I had decided to use the same unnamed character for the whole challenge if I could. I drew him maybe a total of 6 times before I lost interest or got busy working. I can't remember exactly which was first, but chicken or the egg situation, I guess. I do remember feeling really proud of how these pieces came out when I was that age, and extra proud that you could actually tell I was drawing the same character each day. I have always struggled with keeping characters on model, so if anyone has any tips for that, please let me know. I've gotten much better, but it is still definitely a struggle. Anywho, during this final Inktober event attempt, this was the month that I actually first moved out of my family home to start living on my own. So I remember doing these drawings alone at my desk in my new house, and I can remember the peace that it brought me to draw during this immense anxiety of being alone for the first time. Art has always been that for me. I feel soothed while I draw. Putting on a commentary YouTuber or long format art video and just sitting and creating things are some of my favorite memories and pastimes. Even now, I know that some of you artists are using my voice like a podcast right now, and that's pretty cool. I hope I bring you peace and entertainment like other people have brought for me. A bit about the actual art that I'm making. I wanted to keep the black and white theme, even if I was going to draw digitally, instead of pulling out my microns and papers. And I decided to change up the pose of the boy in the box just a bit, because I felt like the old version was too stiff and maybe a bit square. Bad joke out of the way. I'm sorry for that one. I usually am not a huge fan of inking. I prefer messy lines, or maybe just coloring in the sketch. But I had a really good time going through and being a bit more meticulous with this line work. I quite enjoyed how it all ended up working out. So without any further rambling, English is my first language, hold on. So without any further rambling, I present to you the unnamed Inktober boy in a box. Oh my god, wait a second. Did I draw this boy in a box? Because that's how I was feeling living alone. Oh, Jesus. Trauma memory! Ah! Here is the unnamed Inktober boy in a box. Hey, thanks so much for watching my content. I had a really fun time revisiting the art that I made when I was younger, and the places my brain was at while I made it. I think everyone should give this a try if they can. Find some old art you made and had a vision for, but couldn't quite get the results you wanted, and give your younger self the satisfaction of seeing the things in their head actually come to life. It's very cathartic, I promise. Also, what do you guys think of my new Sona? I'm really happy with the changes I've made, and I'll continue to animate more emotes and cool things with this guy. In fact, I have a really cool video planned next, and you guys will get to see it very soon. Let's just say I'm gonna try to introduce myself to the icon and legend, Hatsune Miku. Until then, please leave a comment or a like, and definitely subscribe to my channel to see more. I've been Citris. See you next time. Bye-bye.